What's up, chess family? This is Chess Addict coming back with another video on my quest to raise my blitz rating to that. Well, my rapid rating up to where my blitz level is, which is over 1600. So let's look at this game here that we played. This is very interesting. So I started the video off in this position because this was the same position achieved by Arnold Horst and Sergei Kursov in the game back in 2011, where Black actually went on to resign the game because this is the Zukertort opening Ross Gambit, where White castles queenside and puts you, if you're not prepared for that queenside castle, you are immediately under attack and in a very bad position based on the move so far. Okay, so let's take a look from the beginning. All right, so he plays the ready opening knight, which is of course is the bringing the knight out first to f3, which placed the knight in a pretty solid position. It pretty much prevents you from playing the move e5, even though I played it. Oh well, and he got the pawn for free, but I'll catch back up. Okay, so this is how I played it. Now, in the game back in 2011 with Hurst and Kursov, Kursov elected to, or Hort elected to go for a fianchetto bishop. I don't play with fianchetto bishops very often. I like my bishops to be free and control diagonals that I need them to control, and not one specific diagonal. So you won't see a lot of games where I have a fianchetto bishop. However, every now and again I will fianchetto a bishop or two. Just depends. Okay, so if you see here, I'm basically trying to follow the principles of the opening and get some minor pieces developed. Alright, so let's stop at this position. The queen coming out and the bishop where it is, it makes this a very, very, very dangerous situation for White, because the bishop is protecting the rook. The rook is in the center of the board. The other bishop is protecting both pawns. That pawn that is pinned by the queen, which limits her counterplay, and another pawn which limits the queen from coming down onto the 7th rank. That's the light square bishop is in this position as a strong bishop, and not to mention if he tries to play counter with the knight, harassing my queen. Bishop takes or rook takes, either one. Okay, so this setup, even though it looks very unorthodox and kind of silly, it's actually really strong. We're playing 10-minute games, and this guy resigned, I think, with like a minute. He had like a minute or so left on the clock, and I think I had like 8 or 7 minutes. My moves are fairly decisive. I took a peek when he placed the queen on g3. I took a peek over here, and the king is self-protecting, so I'm not really concerned with that. So now I'm going to get my other minor piece into the game by developing the knight to a6, and he wants to open my position, so he sacrificed a rook, and there's where that bishop comes into play, and then I put him in check. So the idea here was, if he makes the wrong move and he takes, then I come down here, check. He moves away. I'll grab that knight, and then I'm not sure what he would probably do something like this, and then I could slide down in here, check, and then he would go back to here, and I would probably grab this for GP and let him grab there, and then double up my rooks right here so that he can't snatch that rook. That would be what, that was one idea. However, it's not how it panned out. So he simply moved the king, so I snatched the knight, and he took back. I have this pawn that's located on b2 pin with the queen, and he doesn't want to take here. He doesn't want to take this piece, this bishop, because it's protected by the queen. So I just simply push the pawn, and he sacrifices his last rook. At this point, I'm convinced that he's desperate, and he had a plan, but his plan has become interrupted by me in this setup that I have in the middle of the board. So now he's just reacting. Once again, we talked about this in previous videos. Like right now, he's desperate. Do you see this? He moved the queen to h3. Do you really think you're going to get down here with an unprotected bishop? No, you're not, because now I'm going to snap your bishop off for free. He takes, and I put him in check, and now I'm coming for a grand attack. And this is where he just resigned the game. Because do you see what I mean when I say desperate? When you are reacting and you're down in time, you do some really crazy moves. Do you see this? Free of charge, no exchange, nothing. And of course, rightfully so, he resigns his position. Because let me show you something. I think this could just be a give up move, because from right here he could put me in perpetual check if I'm not careful. But so I had to take this piece. But let's say I didn't take that piece, I'm not sure what he would have done. He may have even did something real crazy, like came over here. Because the queen, I can't go back over here, and the queen can put me in check right here, and I can block with, but he can come straight down for me. But if he did do that, if I did this, check, he would do something like that. And then if I did this, check, he could move back over here. But if I went here, check, that's checkmate. So his plan was never going to work. Yeah, he made a really bad move and I took his queen, but his plan was not going to work. He needed 2 more moves and something that I could accomplish in 2 or 3 moves. Consistent, like continuous moves, because I could keep his king in check. So if you're a beginner, that's when you're in your checkmating sequence, you want to see where you can find moves with tempos and checkmate your opponent, or tempo moves to where you're positioning the king where you want them, so they can't. So it makes it very hard for them to continue to defend that king. That's the strategy. But we're not talking about chess strategy right this moment. We're just going over this game. All right. So this is the Zukertort Ross Gambit. As before, click like and subscribe if you like the video. If you have questions about this video, I will try my best to answer them. I don't play this very often. I'm a Bush Gas Gambit player myself. If I play a Gambit, there's 2 Gambits that I'll play. I'll play King's Gambit as white, and I will play the Bush Gas Gambit as black, which I'll post a video. But the Bush Gas Gambit has to be modified once you get over 1600. Most higher rated players like that, they're not going to fall for that Gambit. That's an intermediate Gambit. That's like a Gambit for 1300 to 1450 level players. Not much over 1450. You get up around 1475 where the guy's been or the female has been 1600 before, and maybe just be on a current losing streak. They're not going to fall for that Gambit. It's similar to the fried liver Gambit as black, but it's really neat, and it's a lot of different positions. If you play it enough, you can see all those other positions where they try to block one, but you can open it up with another. But later on, I'll post a video. It's a fun opening if you just want to have fun and you don't really care about your rating and suffering a loss or two or three. Then play it. I play it every now and then. Every now and then. Typically, I'll stick with the Sicilian Dragon, open Sicilian or closed Sicilian variation, or the Carol-Con Exchange or the Carol-Con advanced variations like I posted before. But like always, click subscribe, drop me an email, chessaddict35802@gmail.com, and I'll see you next time.